What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Marriage Anonymous. First off, we just want to say thank you for listening. You guys are killing it. We appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to listen to the podcast. In today's episode, we are diving into Father's Day. What does it mean to be a father? What's it like for me being a father? We also get into what's it like having a child with autism. We're going to dive into that a little bit. How does that differ from being a father to a quote-unquote regular child? We had a lot of fun doing this episode. If you guys have any topics you would like us to cover, if you have any questions, make sure you hit the link in the description, go to the Ask Questions Here tab, and you can submit them right there anonymously. If you don't care about being anonymous, just drop them in the comments. We also have our Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. All of that's linked. As always, we appreciate y'all for listening. Have a great day.
So did you want to go with my idea first?
We can do whatever you want tonight.
Well, no, I don't care. Like I said, I have an idea for like a Father's Day thing, but if it's not going to go up on Father's Day, I don't know if you want to do that.
Well, today's Father's Day.
Yes, it is. Happy Father's Day, my love.
Thanks.
Father of two.
It's just another day.
Yeah, it is. But still, it's still nice to...
Like, Father's Day is only special if you can, like, wake up and have your kids running and be like, Dad, happy Father's Day.
You can have that.
No. Not today.
No, but if that's something you want...
Like, I was out loading when you guys woke up.
No. When we called you, yes, but we'd been awake for a little while.
Oh.
This is your 8th Father's Day. Very fun. I was just thinking
Very fun.
that we could just discuss fathers. And, because like the freaking... On, you made me turn it on. It's Grandma texted everybody.
What did she say?
I don't know. What did she say?
Tell Benny Grandma loves listening to her read from her storybook. Are they doing a FaceTime? Can't be doing a FaceTime. Grandma does Android.
Yeah, your mom probably just called her. But yeah, I thought that, we could just have a discussion about dads and, what it means for you to be a dad. Maybe your dad. Just dads. Just talk about dads. Dad stuff.
Okay.
So, do you feel like you're the dad that you thought you would be? First off, okay, let's go by life. When you were like a little kid, because there's lots of little girls that talk about wanting to be mommies and stuff when they grow up. Like, being a dad, was that ever a thing that you, like, thought about?
I don't think so. Not when I was a kid.
Like, you just thought about driving a big truck.
Yeah.
And you didn't even think about being married or being a dad.
Nope, I just wanted to be... When I was a little kid, I wanted to be my dad.
Yeah. You still want to be your dad.
I am my dad.
No.
I'm not as cool as my dad. I'm not as nice as my dad.
Mm.
I'm not as thoughtful as my dad.
Nah, I would say...
I got some pretty big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And he's got big shoes to fill. Fill.
That's like kind of weird. But like, so okay.
Because his dad died when he was young. Like, my parents were first married back in 86, 87. I'm a terrible human being for not knowing the year.
No.
But yeah, of course, like whenever somebody dies, they get like instant legend status.
Yeah.
Unless you're like a real piece of crap.
Yeah. But it is true. Me and my mom have actually had that conversation quite a lot lately, that it's like, just like with people in our family.
Everybody forgets all the bad
Yeah,
stuff.
you do, which I'm not saying is good or bad, but it's what happens. It's like, yeah, they're the best human on earth.
Yeah.
No
They
matter.
were like they were a saint,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Which is great
Yeah.
because that's the only way I'm going to achieve sainthood. Is like
Just
is
die.
when I die, everyone's going to be like, "He was so nice. He was such a great person."
People say that about you now. They do.
No.
They do.
So yeah, like it's being a dad. I don't know.
Well, hold on. So you established that not when you were a kid, but like say, okay, then when you got to like being in high school and a teenager, did you ever think about being a dad?
Yeah, it was just going to be like it was just I thought of it as just being a part of life. Like I always knew I will beat on my own chest about being a good dad
You're an amazing dad.
because it just is natural for me
Very much
to
so.
be a dad.
It is one of the big things when things were really rough for us that I was like, he is the best dad.
Yeah, I am a
Like,
really good dad. But I could do a lot. But there's a lot of
everyone can
things
always do better.
when I like stop and think about it, I'm like, I could do so much better.
Yeah, everyone can.
But I'm just tired and I'm selfish and
that's how it goes. Being a parent is hard. It's very extremely selfless
yeah.
and it's hard. But so did you start, because I mean, like, once we were married and we started talking about kids, like, it was the thing you wanted to do. Do you think that just came when we started talking about it?
No, I think I always wanted to be a dad, but I never knew what it was. Like I never knew what it was going to be like.
No.
Being a dad is so hard.
Yeah. What's hard?
Like there's a lot of stuff I want to do. But instead of doing the stuff I want to do,
You have to live
I'm
life.
being a dad.
Oh, you mean there's a lot of things you want to do in life, but you're a dad.
Yeah.
Okay. You're saying, like, I get that, because like I'm in this thing and I kind of talked to you about it, is like,
But I would much rather be a dad.
yeah. But again, it comes back to that selfish thing, like, because like now we have this new baby, and right before we had the baby, I mean, we had a huge stretch. There's a huge age gap between our kids.
Yeah.
And, just getting out of the groove of it. And I was in this thing of like, okay, I'm ready to try all these things and try to make money and do all this stuff. And now it's like, now having a baby, and I'm like, can't.
So we're going to kind of like veer off into a little.
Okay, you can do whatever you want.
We'll bring it back in. It all has to do with being a dad.
Okay.
So we're just going to address the elephant in the room with having a child with autism.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's the
Because
elephant?
that is a game changer.
Yes, it is. It's not something people, I think, go into having a baby thinking that's what's going to happen. Definitely was not what I thought was going to happen with us.
No. So there's things that I thought about, like,
Time out.
what?
Is this like seeing just like right down my shirt?
No, you can't even see it
Okay.
because I've got it zoomed in.
All right. Sorry.
So, like, let's just, when you told me that you were pregnant with Bentley,
Okay.
in my mind, the whole life flashed with what I thought it was going to be like. With, she's going to, like, grow
Teach her
up,
to
go
ride
to
a
school,
bike.
teach her how to ride a bike, teach her how to play sports. Like she was gonna be like a softball player. Like she was gonna get, in later in junior high and high school, she'd be asked to dances, and she would eventually get a boyfriend, and then they would get married, and then she would have kids, and I would walk her down the aisle and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then bam,
Yeah.
one day you tell me, and this was right in the middle of all of my crap, I think she has autism. And I'm like, no. How old was she? Like 6 months old?
She was really little. She wasn't even a year old.
Yeah, she was like 9 months old. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure she has autism. And I'm like, no, not my kid. She's perfect. And she still is
Let's
perfect.
say what she is. Yeah.
I was like, no. So like it feels like I was robbed.
Yeah.
Of all that. And that was a very selfish thing.
You got mad at me.
Hold on a minute, let me take this. Speaking of our autistic child. So anyway, like that's what I thought being a dad was. Right?
Okay, so here's a question that I have, because like you saying all that, we had a conversation, it was a couple months ago now, out of the blue. We were driving in the car and you basically said this very thing. We were talking about Florence. Yeah, we were talking about Florence, and all of a sudden you just said to me, like, this sounds extremely selfish, but I need her to be normal. And that was the first time I've ever heard you express those feelings that you just said, of like that you were sad, or whatever you want to name the emotion as, of like missing out on those things with Binley.
So I know that I don't remember saying that, but I know in the past I've talked about with you about being sad that she's going to miss out on that stuff.
But it's like I always tell you,
she doesn't know.
She has no idea what she's missing.
Yeah,
she loves her life.
Yeah. Oh, man, I just don't know how I'm going to react when she starts getting bullied.
Yeah. Well, she's not getting bullied, but it already happens all the time. And like I have a really hard time. Like you push me to like get her to go and like do things with other kids and stuff. But it really is like hard for me because she doesn't get bullied, but they all look at her like she's a freak.
I get that. And that's going to happen.
And I hear them whispering about how weird she is.
And I've accepted that because those kids are seeing something brand new.
I know.
For the first time. My problem's going to come in when she realizes it later in life.
I don't know if she ever will.
If she does. I have no problem cutting a frickin' 12-year-old kid. Not literally, but I have no problem cutting down a teenage kid if they're making fun of my daughter. You know, I can make you feel like you're this big.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, not because of my size. I can talk to you and make you feel like you're this big.
What are you getting at?
I'm saying I have no problem doing that to a 12-year-old kid or a 13-year-old kid. I have no problem doing that. I have no problem with their parents being upset with it. I have no problem with anybody being upset with it because I will be upset.
It's just so hard. I just, I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my mind around that she's as old as she is and
Yeah.
like as big as she is already. And then it's just like I just because I feel that way as well, but at the same time like when things happen, it's like I don't like I don't know how to say anything. And even like I don't know, like so like I have lots of nieces and nephews on my side. And there was a time, it's been a few years now, that like my brothers and stuff were asking, like, how do we like address this with our kids? Like, what do you want us to say? Like, how do we get our kids to understand? Like, I think they're more so asking, like, do you want us to tell them, like, just kind of and it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to tell people how to deal with her in situations or like I don't know, it just makes me feel uncomfortable, I guess, cuz like I don't know. Like when she's getting old enough now that she goes to like church activities that aren't on Sundays. Even when she goes to things on Sundays. It's like anything outside of her class that she goes to at school where they're all special needs and stuff, and they all just get it. When you go in and where she's the only one and everyone else is quote unquote normal. I just don't I just don't know how to approach it. It's so hard for me. And I know like I've had several people tell me like don't worry about it. Like we're fine. Like we're not worried about it. We don't care. But I feel so much stress about it and like needing to be there to help guide the situation and I don't know if it's fear of bullying or whatever. Like yeah, anyways, I could go on and on, but it is. It's definitely not a situation that I thought I would ever be in. I love still to this day like special needs kids. I did a lot of, that stuff in high school. I did that. I did an internship. I thought I was going to go into special education.
You did.
Well, I've had jobs that I worked at different special ed places, and then
You got
I
a
get out
life.
of it, and then I had a baby,
You're gonna
and,
have a doctorate on special needs.
and it's like I just never thought that I was going to, be living my life in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to bring it back around, I think being a dad and being a special needs dad are two very different things. Not saying that one's, harder or better or whatever, but it's just a very different situation, I think.
Being a parent, being a father to an autistic daughter is going to be very dangerous.
Elaborate for the people.
I already have a problem controlling my anger. Like I have zero tolerance.
Oh crap. Finish your thought.
No, it's okay.
No,
Go
just
take care of
finish and I'll go up there and do it.
I have zero tolerance for being mean-spirited and hurting somebody's feelings that has special needs. It's one thing if you're like joking, like if you're making a joke that's a lighthearted joke and somebody gets their feelings hurt, that's one thing. But if you're intentionally attacking, making fun of
A certain person.
a person, no, a person with special needs that can't really defend themselves.
The hardest thing for me is
Pretty much anybody that can't defend themselves.
but the where we've talked about this a lot is it's like I've seen it a lot just working and doing things that I had is it's like they have no idea that you're like making fun of them. And I've seen so many times, especially in that teenage age, where it's lighthearted, but it's not. And they're like laughing along with them and stuff, and they don't realize that they're like being made fun of. That's where I feel like there's no amount of like joking and lightheartedness when it comes
That
to
doesn't
that.
bother me as much as it does than if my child came home crying.
Yeah.
So like I have a cousin, you know who I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Mhm.
With autism, who's a little older than me.
Mhm.
And he got it. Like he knew they were making fun of him.
Yeah. He's very much there. He's very on the high functioning
Yeah.
side, so I can see that.
Thought okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really gonna test me when that happens.
Yeah.
Like there's that the TikTok video. I don't know if you've seen it going around where it's like all these women and they ask the question like, "Would you kill for your kid?"
Oh, yeah, and they
And
all
they're
say
like,
no.
"No."
Yeah. Which that's like mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go get the other one and we'll be back.
All right.
Mm.
How'd that go?
Fine. She was really going.
She was
when
pissed.
Oh yeah. Very mad.
It's because I was sitting down here rambling on.
But I just wish that she could like I tried to just like give her a binky and just like go back to sleep. No, she is full on like if she wakes up, she's gotta be on the tit for a while.
Yeah.
It's
I've
all
been
good.
there.
You tit to go to sleep.
Yeah. Both when I was younger and when I was older. Like not too long ago. Good times.
Oh boy.
All right, so we're going to stop talking about me wanting to commit crimes against children.
You sat there and had some time to think
Yeah,
about
like
it.
what am I doing? I'm threatening 14-year-old kids on the internet. This is future that aren't even 14 yet. Threatening them on the internet? That's a bad idea.
What I thought you were gonna say when
Bad
you were
move.
talking about like being a dad to a autistic daughter is hard.
Like there's just stuff we can't do. And that's what oh god, I can't even believe I'm bringing this up. The podcast with Robert Kennedy Jr.
Oh, okay.
There was a part in there on Joe. He was on Joe Rogan this last episode. He was talking about the parents of autistic kids.
Okay.
We were gonna have a vaccine episode, then Shay kind of shot that down.
I
And then
didn't. I just
thought
asked you
about it,
if
and
you
it's
thought
like,
that was
maybe
a
we
good
shouldn't.
idea.
Maybe we shouldn't.
You've taken that off the table.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
Okay.
Because that's like I don't care about being ripped every way to Sunday, but not on that. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
not. But anyway, in that episode he was talking about he feels bad for the parents of autistic as well as autistic children. But the parents because our world now is
Very
1,500.
small.
It's 1,500 square feet.
It's very
This is our
small.
world. Is
Mhm.
1,500 square feet.
Well, I had a full-on breakdown the other day to you about this very topic.
Yeah. So, like, I think it's cool.
It's great for me as someone who's a homebody. I can just be like, oh, Bailey, we can't do that. Bailey doesn't.
So, yeah, there was like, film the camera here. Yeah. There was like a lot of stuff. And you did too. We saw our lives going a completely different way.
When?
Like pre-autism diagnosis with Bentley. Like our lives were going to go a different way.
Okay.
We were going to like go do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We can't go do stuff.
We can't. And I don't think people understand that. Like even our own families still
our
don't
families
understand
don't
it.
understand it all the way.
It's just
Like,
like,
they think,
why don't
"Oh."
you just try to do this? I'm like, no.
Well, first of all, like most of the time we have tried it.
Like, there's been times where, like, we have to go do something. And we just know it's going to be horrendous.
I draw the line at terror for Binley. Like, if she's starting to get this kind of thing and like hysterical, like you can tell when a kid's upset and they're crying because they're upset, and then you can tell when freaking panic is setting in, like full blown maniac panic kind of stuff is setting in. I draw the line at panic.
No.
Like, I will put her through and push her to do stuff up until the panic line. As soon as she starts to panic, I'm like, F you, leave us the alone. Kind of like if people, and even people in our family, if they'll be like, oh yeah, she's gonna get, I'm like, fuck off. She's not getting it right now.
No. I could go on the, but I'm not. I don't want to start an argument online.
Don't.
You already know what it would be.
What?
With what you just said in a situation, the conversation we've been having lately.
About? Oh, the moving?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be a very slow thing. Okay.
How?
You let me worry about it. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, I'll take the blame and I will change. I'll make it change.
How again?
I'll do it. You just let me worry about it. Okay. I got it, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about other stuff.
Yeah. But it's like, it's so crazy how much your brain has to like change.
When you
Like,
have an autistic
yeah,
child.
like things people would never even think about.
Yeah.
So like we're going on a family trip to the family cabin next week. And this is a pretty safe thing. She likes to go. She's warmed up to it
Yeah.
and stuff. But immediately all I can think about
Is cows.
yes.
Yeah.
Are the cows going to be there? Because if the cows are going to be there, it is going to be miserable.
Yeah. Again, let me worry about it.
Well, I know, but I'm just using that as the example of like anytime we're going to do something. So like they wanted my sister-in-law, there's here in Utah, they have at Thanksgiving Point, there's this place and there's all kinds of things you can do there. And they have a dinosaur museum. Well, Binley went with her class at the end of the school year, went to the dinosaur museum. She loved it. She wants to go again. Well, they have this other dinosaur thing that's just here for like a temporary time. My sister-in-law invited us to go. And I was like, is that the one that they're animatronic? And she's like, yeah. And then I had to sit there. I'm like, well, do they make noises? And she's like, I don't know. I think so. I'm like, well, I need to know because if they make noises, I can't go because Binley is not going to be down for the ride. It's just like
the other thing
everything
is like,
you just always have to think about.
Sometimes she's good.
And sometimes she's
and
not.
sometimes she's not because like Tanner's new dog was barking tonight. Completely fine.
Our dog can bark and be fine. And then the next day she freaks out. And that's the thing. Like people ask me all the time, well, what bothers her? Why is it bothering her? I don't know.
And she doesn't know either.
If she does know, she can't tell me why.
Yeah.
And like that's the hardest thing is trying to understand and then like explain it to people. Like I said, even in our own family, like you'll say something to her, no, we're not going to do that. Well, so like, okay, so here's an example of not a very big one. Today, I went up to my parents' house for Father's Day, and my parents live next to a field, and there's one horse that is sometimes in that field. It's been sometimes in there, and it's been there lately, and so she doesn't want to go outside because she knows that the horse is out there. Well, so people were over, like the other nieces and nephews, and so I said, go out and play. They want to play outside, go out and play. And she's freaking out, telling me no. And I said, Ben, the horse isn't out there. It's gone. It's not there because it wasn't there. And she just kept saying, no, 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 no. And so I made her go out there, and she's pointing clear over at those, the other side. There's another like field clear. There was 2 horses over there that they were fenced off, couldn't come over to this.
Yeah.
I was like, Binley, they're not gonna come over here. But it was like she couldn't. And my mom's like trying to talk to her and telling her, Binley, they're not gonna come. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's in her head. She's not gonna get over it. But I did, because I was just so sick of it. I was like, you're fine. And I closed the door, made her stay out there, and she stayed out there and ended up being fine. But I was just like, yeah, it's a very small world.
I would not trade it for anything, though.
No.
Like, if I could flip a switch and go back and change it and have it be different, I wouldn't.
No. Well, see, and then that's hard. I mean, I say no. I would not want Binley to change. She is like the sweetest, perfect thing ever. But would I want some of these things to change and I could flip a switch? Yes. Today, this summer has been very hard on me. And I'm trying to work through it, but it's just the fact she's getting older. These things are getting worse. They're not getting it better. And now having like another kid, I'm just in this whole thing of like, how do we balance it where it's fair for this other kid, because I feel bad for Florence.
It's not ever going to be fair.
Well, but that's it. And then I just feel really bad that, and we've had these discussions like, what are we going to do? Is it going to be that we just take Florence to go do things and Binley's just going to have to stay and not do those things?
There is not a thing any of us can do about it.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. Having to figure out.
This is our life.
How to do
Florence is a part of our life.
Yeah.
Binley is a part of our life.
Anyways, are we turning this back into a Father's Day episode, or are we going to keep talking autism? I'm fine either way.
Well, autism is a huge part of me being a dad.
Yeah. I just had a thought, but it's not something to put in this podcast.
Save it for later.
I don't know if I got to write it on my hand so I don't forget. Because you're not just going to be a father of a child with autism. Because I've already determined, I've already put it out there, I have a very strong feeling that Florence is not autistic. And so it's like, you're going to also be a normal dad as well. And
I'm going to do awesome at that too. Yeah. I'm going to kill it.
But that's what I'm saying, is great. You have to figure out, like you said, it's never going to be fair, but you have to figure out a way to father them differently. And
even if both of them were normal, I would still have to father them differently.
Very good
Every
point.
single person is different. There is not a single set of rules for everybody other than don't kill anybody.
Okay, so that's a good point to lead into. Do you feel like you were raised in that way? Because what you just said there did not apply in my house. We all were the same. We all had the same rules. Until we all became teenagers, me being the only girl in my family, my brothers got way more leniency when it came to like their girlfriends and what I did with a boyfriend. But we still all, were expected of the same things and, whatever. Were you raised in a way that you all were?
I want to say yeah.
But you don't feel like that?
I don't really exactly remember everything that happened.
Yeah. Because it's easy to say that. I think it's another thing to do that. Because, so, like, the example that I think of in our situation is, like I've talked to you about, is Binley has unlimited amounts of screen time and...
Does she, though? Are you back on the...
No, I did that for like a week.
Oh.
And she had it for her entire life up until this point.
It's news to me.
But basically what I'm saying is that, I've said like we do that because she has autism and that's what she loves and whatever. I don't want Florence to just live her life on an iPad and in front of the TV. But it's like, how do you do that?
Give her something to do then.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's like, how do you say to a kid, well, Binley can't, but you can't. Sorry. I'm just very interested to see.
Predicting something is the dumbest thing to do.
No,
right
I'm
now.
not trying to do that.
I'm saying what I'm about to say.
Oh, okay.
I'm predicting that Florence is not going to get it. And she's probably not going to like her sister for the first little while. Because Binley is going to get to do her thing. And Florence is going to have rules. And then when we tell Florence it's time to go do something, no, you can't bring your iPad, but Binley gets to bring her iPad. Florence is going to be like, oh, freaking Binley.
But I have been trying to do better at that. Like, she didn't get to take her iPad tonight, and she still doesn't have it.
You're pulling a Charles right now.
What
It's hypothetical. Just roll with it here.
Oh, well, I'm saying I am trying to still... Like, I'm not doing the whole token things. Sorry. Continue.
That kind of stuff is... Binley's going to get to do some stuff that Florence doesn't get to do, and Florence is going to resent Binley for it. Up until a certain age. When Florence realizes that Binley's different. And then I think it's going to be fine.
No. That's the other thing that I, like, battled with so hard deciding to, like, have another kid was, are they going to feel like when they're older, like, significantly older, because this is just going to be, it's just the fact.
Florence is going to have to take care of Binley.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Is she going to resent us and feel like we just had her as a caretaker for Binley?
First of all, if she believes that, that is our fault. That is a failure on us, making her feel like she is nothing more than a caretaker. That will fall on us. That's not going to happen.
No, but I'm saying, like, is she going to be like, what if she doesn't want to do that? What if she's like, I want to go get married and move away and not have to have my sister live with me?
You planning on dying sometime soon?
No. What? I don't understand what you're
Florence isn't... Binley's not going to have to go... Florence isn't going to have to deal with Binley until they're old. When we're gone.
No, but... Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's always just a sticky thing for me because I had several people like make comment when I said like we weren't going to have any more, like specifically say, well, don't you want to have another one so they can help with Binley? And I'm like, it almost made me like not want to have a kid, to be like, no, I don't want to have another kid just so Binley,
So
it's a fine line for me.
Yeah, like I
feelings.
I didn't want to have another kid so that they could take care of Binley. I wanted to have another kid first off because I felt like our family wasn't full.
Yeah.
And second of all, yeah, I didn't want Binley to be alone. So no, I didn't go into it thinking like, yeah, I'm going to have someone to take care of Binley. I just didn't want Binley to be alone. I think that Binley's not going to have very many friends.
No. She has friends, but like she doesn't have friends that like come over or she goes over and like plays with. Her family, her cousins are her friends.
Yeah.
And she even calls them that. That's what cracks me about all the time.
My friends.
That's all she kept saying today. Mom, I want my friends to come.
Yeah.
And I haven't ever told you this. I don't think we've had, but like we'll go to the splash pad and there'll be other kids there that she's never even met before. They're not interacting with her at all. She's not interacting with them. And then they'll like go to leave. My friends! Like Bentley. It's like if there's kids, she just thinks that they're her friends. They don't even have to be playing together. And then she's sad when they leave. Oh my gosh.
It's getting late.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
So, to tie it all in, I was born to be a dad.
Yeah.
That was my calling, was to be a dad.
It's true.
I'm crushing it. I'm doing great.
I'm excited
The alcoholic
to see...
years were kind of debatable, but I still think I did a pretty all right job.
I'm really excited to see you as Florence gets older and like get to see it all again.
Yeah.
Because you're a killer freaking dad.
Well, I got lots of good practice with the first one.
Yeah. And also, I love that you're just a girl dad. I don't even think you would be the same with a boy. I mean, I know you wanted a boy.
I'd do really good with it.
And all this stuff, but I just, whoa.
Me and him could go do manly shit.
That lava lamp is looking really phallic.
Yeah, it looks like friggin' Mount St. Helens is going off in there right now.
Sorry.
Or either that or like an umbilical cord.
To me, it looks very phallic from this angle.
That's a pretty lumpy penis.
An alien.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love.
And you know what? Like
girl dad.
a lot of it, like I learned from my dad.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I
like. My dad scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, and even into my like early teenage years.
How old was your dad when you were like a kid?
When I was born, I think my dad was 26 when I was born, and I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
And we had Binley when I was 23.
So, but I think about, okay,
No,
so
I was
like
20,
when you,
I was 24.
Like when you were saying this whole thing, like you were scared of him, like how old were you? How old was he? Because I'm trying to put in perspective of like.
So, my dad didn't scare the shit out of me when I was like a little kid. He scared the shit out of me when I was like 10.
Yeah. So
when we moved to Payson, that's when he started scaring the shit out of me.
So he was like 34, 35.
Yeah.
Not like about your age-ish.
Yeah. He was my, which is freaking
that's what I said.
Weird,
so
dude.
That's what I was just saying. Does it put it into like a perspective?
Because like when I was a little kid, I was just my dad's little buddy. Yeah. Like I would go on that. We would go. I like grew up on a semi truck. And be gone with my dad for 2 or 3 days and then come home. Because up there where we lived, it had like a weird school schedule. It was year-round school. So like I would go, I don't remember how, but I'd like go to school for 2 months and then I'd have like 2 weeks off. Mm-hmm. Or I'd go to school for a couple months and have a couple weeks off. So I spent a freaking ton of time on the truck with my dad. I was just his little buddy. I was his little trucking buddy. Mm-hmm. And get tired, and I would always say, "Hey, Dad, I'm just gonna go back in the sleeper and rest my eyes for a little bit."
Classic kid.
Could you just imagine me like I was starting to get chubby? So, like, I would just love to go on the truck with him and just, like, eat Carl's Jr. And then I would, get nice and full and eat like a big chocolate shake, and then I'd be like, because he would like to drive at night. Like
He's
he
always
would,
been a night driver.
yeah. It's like but he would pull over and take naps and then sleep during the day and then drive all night. And I'm this little kid that had just eaten like 600 calories or something. I'd be like, Dad, I'm just gonna go rest my eyes for a little bit. It is weird to think about that I am starting to be the age. Like when I think about it, like when my dad was my age, I was like, he's not cool. He's old.
They're a dad.
Yeah, like you're.
I didn't think my dad was old,
My
but I
dad
was
was
like, he's a
grown up.
dad.
I'm like he's grown up. Like he
Yeah.
does grown up stuff. Like I never thought my dad was like
This
hanging out with
old.
yeah.
Having hobbies and
Yeah.
doing things that we do. That moment, I've said this to you, that moment hits me when we go to parent-teacher conference. I'm like, what the heck? This is
I go
weird.
into parent-teacher conference and I'm like, you're my teacher? Like, I was just doing this, like, not too long ago.
Yeah, it's weird. And they're, like, our age.
No, like, they're way younger than me.
There's some of the teachers.
Like, Binley's teacher is, like, what, 25 or something?
I don't know how old she is. I think she's probably around our age. She's younger than us, but not by, like, a ton.
She's younger than me by quite a bit, I think.
So weird.
I'm only 2 years older than you. I wasn't exactly robbing the cradle.
I wasn't saying that. Yeah, it's just weird.
Being a dad is the best. That's all I have to say about that. Is that being a dad is the best. I had the best dad, the best grandpa. That is gonna freaking make me a golden chicken. Is if I ever have grandkids. That I'm gonna be old when I have like, oh man.
Well, because it'll have to be with Florence.
Yeah, I'm gonna be old.
So, be old. Not way old. Like, that's the thing, though. There's most majority of people
55,
don't start having kids until at least
60
like our age.
years old.
Yeah, that's not that old.
I can't even imagine being that old.
Yeah, me neither. It's weird. I
feel like I'm 50 right now. Like my body is beat down, busted.
My body's not
beat
great, but I don't feel like I'm old. I don't ever feel like I'm going to really get that old. Like, I can't imagine being like my parents' age.
My mind feels like I'm 17. No. I'm a very forgetful 17-year-old. Like, all the stuff I thought was funny when I was 17 is still funny.
Oh, yeah. Well, happy Father's Day.
Thanks. Literally just another day.
Fathers out there, you rock.
Keep killing it, kings.
And, Charles has claimed that we are going to start putting out more episodes.
I really want to.
So, maybe you'll be hearing from us more often.
Yeah, I really want to put an episode out. I'm not committing to anything.
Except our regular Tuesdays.
But I really want to start putting out more episodes.
So maybe here and there might be extra bonus episodes. But I'm going to put in a request. One is always, leave your questions. It's always down there. It's lots of fun. And secondly, if you're listening, if you normally listen on like Apple or something else, if you could just like turn, you don't even have to listen to an episode, but just like turn it on Spotify just once, that would be really great. That'd really help us out.
We got a goal.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Okay. I love you.
I love you.
See ya.